Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our final Saturday morning Saturday with Stephanie. That's not to say that these videos will stop. I am actually going to be moving into the evening slot. We've made the decision as we move into our opening up routine with having worship services in person and then recording them in person, posting them online. Our plan moving forward is that all of our online content will be available starting at 5 o'clock each day. So on Sunday at 5 p.m., you can find our worship service. Monday through Friday, you'll find the devotions that Pastor Travis does. And Saturday will be my time. I'm going to try and continue to do these Christian education videos. Little bits of extra info, little bits of my thoughts on things, maybe read a Bible story from time to time, whatever that looks like. I'm going to try to do those for as long as we are unable to have things like Bible study, Sunday school, in-person Christian education things. So who knows how long that will be. Right now we're kind of in this uncertain waiting time of, well, maybe soon, maybe not. So thanks for coming along on this journey. Thanks for bearing with me as I'm figuring out all of the things that this will have on it. I know each time it's been a little bit different, and I hope you've enjoyed them. And I hope if you've got questions, things you've always wanted to know, maybe about the Lutheran Church, maybe about how we do worship, maybe about the church year, whatever it might be, please feel free to send me your questions. Let me know your thoughts on things. You can put them in the comments of this video. You can send them to me. You can text them to me, email, Facebook, whatever. I'd be happy to address them along the way. So for today, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that we are having our first in-person services this week, starting tomorrow. Our first one will be tomorrow morning, and then our second one will be Wednesday evening. We may end up having to add other services along the way. We aren't sure yet. Based on the needs of the congregation, we want to make sure that we don't have more than 50 people at any worship service, just to make sure we're doing adequate social distancing. Our sanctuary really can't accommodate more than that and still allow for 6 feet of separation between households. So we're examining all the possibilities, and we really invite your feedback, your input on that process. So please, if you've got thoughts, let us know. We'd really like to hear from you. Going into in-person worship tomorrow, I am excited. I am nervous. I have been nervous since we first started talking about coming back. I'm concerned about those who are higher risk, that have been really wanting to be worshiping in person. I'm just concerned for their safety and health along the way. I'm concerned about all of the logistics, as I imagine some of you are also. The idea of worshiping with a mask on. I love singing, but I've also been reading some of the things about being cautious about singing, and so I'm probably not going to be singing out as loudly as I normally would, because I know that's pushing a lot of air, and I have no idea if that's going to cause a potential for someone else to get sick, and I don't want to do that. One of the biggest challenges for me is moving from pre-recording our worship services to recording them as they are happening. We won't be doing a live stream, and there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, our camera is not set up to directly go send a feed to the internet, so we would have to switch to a much lesser camera, like using a phone camera. And honestly, the video quality would be depleted quite a bit by doing that. The other thing that concerns me is there are a lot of churches that are doing live stream, and that's fantastic. However, that means that Facebook and YouTube, the methods that we use for dispersing these videos that a lot of churches use, are very busy on Sunday mornings with a lot of content being sent through them. We have run into a couple of issues on Sunday mornings when people are watching our service, and that's not us even trying to upload to the internet. It's pre-recorded, pre-uploaded, and sometimes even there it gets kind of glitchy. So we do not want to run into a situation where we cannot have the worship service available because we plan to live stream and things out of our control are not working. So that is the plan, is that we will record during the Sunday morning service, which will be a very different thing. Currently, the way we've been doing it since March, the middle of March, has been we will set up each segment of the service and start the recording. And if something goes wrong, we stop the recording and we start it over again. When you're filming a live worship service with people in the room, we can't really do that. So we'll just bring it to you as is. We'll see how it goes. We will probably try to still film some in a welcome and a closing message for the people at home, speaking directly to you. For those of you that are concerned about bringing your kids to worship, I completely understand the concerns and the questions about that. I will let you know that we will continue to pre-record the children's message and show it as a video on the screens and ask the kids to stay in their seats. That is the plan moving forward for that. And that will be indefinitely, because we know we can't ask kids to come forward and then say, oh, but you need to sit here and you need to sit here and stay 6 feet apart and don't touch your friends and don't come give pastor a hug. That's going to be impossible to ask of them. So rather than making it more complicated for parents, we're trying to make it less so. Something else that we are doing is we will have the name tags for the people that signed up for the worship service sitting on the table as you come in. We have one of our long plastic tables set up in the narthex. We're going to use it at the end for communion. We'll clean it in between. But we ask you to pick up your name tag when you come to worship and then take it home with you and just bring it back each time. That way we don't have lots of hands touching the drawers where we normally keep them. And if you are new to worshiping with our community and coming for the first time, we will make up handwritten name tags for you ahead of time and have those. And we will make sure that we get name tags made for you when you join our church. That's kind of one of those pieces that we give to you when you join. So that's kind of some of the things that are happening. Communion will be actually at the end of the worship service, and it'll be held, the blessing and the communion liturgy will be held in the worship service, but you will take communion as you leave the building. And we'll encourage everybody, if you want to have time to fellowship and talk to people, to do it outside in the parking lot, maintaining those social distancing things, because we do know that outdoors is better for not spreading germs. So that's kind of the plan. We'll be doing the exact same thing on Wednesday nights. Every Sunday we will have the praise team as part of the worship service. Some Wednesdays we will also have the praise team. It'll just kind of depend on the Wednesday and their availability. And we really appreciate all of the people, from Julie playing organ to our people who have volunteered to read, to the praise team members that are all fully on board and participating to make the worship service happen. If you're continuing to worship from home, like I said, the worship service will be available at 5 p.m. on Sundays. We're going to continue to use the hymn videos that we've been using. The reason for that is the music that the praise team sings and performs, we have a specific license that allows them to do that in the worship service. It does not allow us to record that music and put it on the internet. And some of the hymns in our hymnal are also not, we would need special licensing to be able to record them. So it's just going to be simpler for us to continue to use those hymn videos. And I hope those are a blessing to you. We're very, very thankful that the Michigan district of our church body actually made those available for us to use. So we'll continue to use those moving forward. If there's a favorite song that you have, I will include the link to where those videos can be found in the description of this video. And you can go through, and if there's a favorite hymn that you would really love to have us sing, by all means, let us know. I can't promise you that we will, especially if you send us, like, say, a Christmas hymn and it's the middle of July. We might not be using one of those right away. But we'd love to know what hymns you love singing, what's going to inspire your time of worship at home right now. So that's kind of what to expect as we move into this phase one. We're going to see how it goes and then make some plans for our second phase of how we will move into continuing to keep you safe while re-entering our sanctuary in special new ways. If any of you are really motivated to be a part of this process, this thought process on how that works, please let us know. We always welcome specific input, especially if you have special knowledge of, say, medical procedures or science or, well, for example, we actually used somebody who's an engineer from our congregation to help us make sure we were maintaining the 6-foot distance and how to plan out the layout of the chairs in the sanctuary for maximizing the space. So anything like that, if you have some abilities. The other thing that I would ask is if you are someone who enjoys reading out loud, maybe you're on our list of readers and you're planning on coming back to worship and you would like to read the lessons, we would really like to start involving some of you in doing that. We do have somebody for this Sunday and this coming Wednesday, but I want to make sure that we have extra people who are available to help with those readings. We are making sure that the podium and even the microphone all get disinfected in between each service. We're making sure everything gets disinfected. Our cleaning crew will be coming Saturday nights and Tuesday nights to clean the whole building, to clean at least the spaces that are getting used. Probably won't be getting into the classrooms at this point, but to make sure that things are as safe as possible. Make sure if you're one who gets thirsty, you bring your own water bottle, because we're going to be blocking off the water fountains because not safe to use those right now. If you desperately need coffee, you're going to need to bring your own. There won't be coffee. There won't be donuts. I'm really sorry. I do believe that the donut shop that we normally purchase from across the street from the church is open. They're open, I think, every day of the year. So if you're hankering for that donut after worship, drive across the street and go buy a donut. We encourage you to do that too. So I hope all of this is helpful. If you have other questions, please feel free to ask us. We'll be happy to answer them. Call anytime today, text, email, Facebook, whatever, comment on this video. Let us know any concerns, questions you might have, and we will be sure to answer them to the best of our ability. Really looking forward to seeing everybody in worship. For those of you who know me, I am not a hugger, so there's a part of me that's kind of relieved that I actually can't hug anybody. But I am really looking forward to smiling and waving and seeing people that I haven't seen in a very long time. And I know my husband is especially looking forward to it. He is very much an extrovert, and he loves sharing the Word of God, and he loves seeing the expressions on people's faces while he's doing it. For you at home, when you watch his message online tomorrow night, you may notice a very distinct difference in how he preaches when he has an actual room full of people to preach to. Even if it's only 50 people in the room, he's very much looking forward to the opportunity to preach with individuals listening to him live and responding. And so I thank you for bearing with us during this time. I thank you for all that you are doing. Continue to pray, continue to lift each other up, continue to reach out to each other, to your neighbors, to your friends. This is a hard time for all of us. Many of us are feeling very isolated and alone. And so I just encourage you to pray today and ask God to inspire you to reach out to 2 or 3 friends and give them a call. Shoot them a text, whatever it is that is most natural for your relationship. I just encourage you to reach out to them and see how they're doing. I pray that you have a great weekend, that your worship is blessed, whether it's tomorrow or on Wednesday with us. And we're looking forward to seeing you as we move into phase 1 tomorrow morning. Thanks so much. Bye.